Okay, so the zero product property says that when one product of two quantities is zero, so one or the other quantity must be zero. So like above, if A times B equals zero, that means A has to be zero, B has to be zero, or both. So if I'm doing that and I've factored something into x plus 6 times the quantity 2x minus 1, that means this thing has to be 0, this thing has to be 0, or both. So I set x plus 6 equal to 0, I set 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So all I'm going to do is solve this, subtract 6 on both sides, so x is equal to negative 6. Do the same thing with this one and solve for x. On the other side, you can see you've got some equations from lesson 2, so it's the one that you did before about the pen, but we're just going to give you this one. You didn't have to come up with this one on your own. Look back at your graph and just see how does L equals 0 and L equals 14 relate to your parabola. So parabola was that thing that kind of went up and down. It looked like a frowny face on page 6. So where are those points? Then the next thing you need to do is solve these equations. So you would take 3x plus 1, set it equal to 0, set x equal to 0. Solve this. Do the same thing over here. 2x plus 3 equal to 0, 5 minus x equal to 0. Solve it. Same thing over here. Solve each one of these. You'll have 2 answers for x here, 2 for here, 2 here. Down here, do the same thing that you did up here, but these ones were already factored for you. Factor these first. So what are two numbers that multiply to get 30, add to get negative 13? So multiply to get 30, add to get negative 13. Both of these numbers, I'll give you the hint that they should be negative because they multiply to get a positive, add to get a negative. Over here, it's a little bit tricky because you need to actually factor out a 2 first, and then you're going to factor that into 2. And then you're going to solve. So your answers to both of these should be x is equal to something, x is equal to something, x is equal to something, x is equal to something.